Premier, Ministers, Consuls General, because I think we have the United States Consul General here and the British Consul General in Boston linked to us by the magic of technology, and Dr. Coyle, athletes and friends, relations, and everybody, welcome. This is an unusual event for us, but I think it brings home the very close connections between Bermuda and our neighbour to the north in the city of Boston. Our connections, I think, historically go back to the 1620s, and not many places have connections with Boston going back that far. But the connections today were brought home in the tragic circumstances of the last Boston Marathon. There were 16 runners from Bermuda taking part. 7, for the terrible reasons that we all know, did not get their medal on the day. That wasn't one of the more serious aspects of the day, but it remains a loose end. And Dr. Coyle's generosity and imagination means that this is a loose end of that awful day, which we can tidy up today, and in doing so, not only remember that day, but celebrate the close connections between our two communities. Can I ask you please now to stand again, and we'll have a brief moment of silence in memory of that day. Thank you. Please be seated. I'm now going to invite Dr. Coyle to say a few words and to present the medals.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for the introduction, for hosting this event. Your Excellency, Governor Ferguson, the Honourable Craig Cannier, Premier of Bermuda, the Honourable Wayne Scott, the Honourable Sean Crockwell, Consul General of Bermuda, Robert Settee, Consul General Susie Kitchens, Superintendent Billy Evans, Head of Operations for the Boston Police, Bermuda runners, and ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to be here with you today on this beautiful island. Since I visited Bermuda over 25 years ago for the first time, it has held a special meaning for me for the past 7 years, and I've been fortunate to spend a lovely couple of weeks here at the spectacular Great Bay Beach and the Rendezvous Cottage. So when I met Bermuda runners Rosanna McShane and Doug Huey the day after this year's tragic Boston Marathon, I was glad to hear that all the runners from Bermuda were safe, but sorry that 7 had been unable to complete the race. Given that I was already scheduled to be in Bermuda and mentioned that as a governor of the Boston Athletic Association, I would be honored to bring the medals with me to present. And it is from this chance encounter to His Excellency's gracious invitation that we are all here today to recognize not only the 7 runners who were unable to finish the race, but also the Bermuda runners who participated in this year's Boston Marathon. I've been involved with the Boston Athletic Association and the Boston Marathon for the past 40 years. As a governor and former president, the marathon means a great deal to me. The marathon is not only a Boston event, but also a global event, with close to 20% international runners participating. So the tragic event of this year's race greatly affected us all. But I am so proud of how Boston and the world and the running community responded. And although we can never change the tragic outcomes, the incredible outpouring of support and acts of kindness that have happened since and continue to occur has touched us all. To have so many international figures visit Boston to show their support including the United Kingdom Prime Minister David Cameron. Special trip into Boston was so powerful and meaning, and we were all so grateful. The One Fund, which was created to support those directly affected the event and has raised over $30 million. And I thank you and the Bermuda running community for the contributions you made to the fund. As Lali Desaya, the Ethiopian winner of this year's marathon, recently said, "Sport should never be used as a battleground. It holds the power to unify people, allowing them the opportunity to share in their common humanity and to celebrate the richness of the world's cultural diversity." He stated that he and his team would return to Boston to run again next year to show the world that our commitment to sport, our commitment to our freedom, will be stronger than any act of violence. So next year, the Boston Marathon will be stronger than before, and we will all stand with great pride at once again the international running community and the people of Boston come together for one of the most exciting sporting events in the world. And for those who were unable to complete the race, you have been given a special invitation to participate next year without having to re-qualify. So again, I thank His Excellency and all of you for giving me the opportunity to recognize you. I would like now to present the medals to the 7 runners. I know that one athlete is not here, Minor Aguilar, but Carrie Butterfield, Natalie Dirley, Bonnie Mills, Stephen Ortiz, Candace Roach, and Kim Willie. I would therefore like to present the medals to these runners if they can come forward.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for coming.
Congratulations. And finally, Governor Ferguson, on behalf of the Boston Athletic Association, I'd like to once more again express our sincere thanks and present you and Premier Kenninger with commemorative 125 Boston Marathon histories. This is a history going back over 125 years of the Boston Marathon.
Thank you.
It's very good reading. But it starts with the first marathon over 125 years ago at the Olympics in Athens, actually. And the history is there. We brought out this book this past year, and we're so proud of it, actually. And It's good reading, but enjoy it.
Thank you, Ian. Thanks for coming.
I'm delighted to have this. I'm glad that in my 4 years in Boston, nobody actually ever expected me to run in the marathon, partly because, as my colleague Susie knows, you start that day at 4 or 5 in the morning, commemorating past British defeats at Concord and Lexington, which arguably is even more arduous, but it's certainly different. I have to say I found it very moving as a past resident of Boston to see at the start of the Boston half marathon on the 24th of May the large and excited crowd of supporters and large and excited crowd of runners observing a minute's silence for their Boston colleagues. Can I now introduce, and I should have introduced earlier, Superintendent Billy Evans, who is a friend of mine and a friend of Bermuda's, who was of the Boston Police Department, who was very heavily involved indeed in the operations both before and after the incident in Boston. And I hope, I can't actually see from here, but I hope Superintendent Evans is with us. And if he is, and I'm getting encouraging nods from those who can see the screen, may I invite Superintendent Evans to say a few words?
Thanks, Governor. Can you guys hear me there?
Yes.
Okay. Again, I'm Superintendent Evans. I just want to thank the governor and, obviously everybody from Bermuda for, recognizing Boston and, the tragedy of the moment of silence. That means a great deal to us back here. And on behalf of the mayor, obviously, our gratitude to the runners. Unfortunately, some of you didn't get it finished, and I'm happy that Governor Ferguson has this ceremony along with the BAA. The Boston Marathon to the city of Boston is very special. It's Patriots Day here. It means a great deal to all of us. And when that bombing happened, it really put a hole sort of in our heart. It's not only special to the city, but special to myself. I've run the Boston Marathon 18 times. I ran this particular day. I was lucky enough to have finished. I was in the hot tub, believe it or not, when they came and got me and told me that 2 bombs had gone off. And, we all went to work for 4 straight days, working hard and eventually able to capture the other outstanding suspects. So it was an emotional week for a lot of us. A roller coaster, but I just want to again extend my gratitude on behalf of the city to all of you who took the time to come to the city to run this great marathon. And I'm hoping, and as we've all said, next year's marathon is going to be bigger, it's going to be better, and I hope everyone who has the opportunity with the invitation from the BAA will step up and come, because we'd love to see you back. And we'd love to see you finish. So with that, again, I can't thank you enough for all your support to us here. And, I wish you all very well. And congratulations on the medals. I hope you all get the bug and continue to run marathons from here on in. They're a great experience. I know this was a terrible finish for you, but good luck and come back stronger, get a better time, and hope to see you back April next year. So thank you.
Susie, can I invite you to say a few words? If you are there. Moving quickly on to the Minister of Community and Cultural Development, Minister Scott. Can I invite you to say a few words?
Sure. First of all, congratulations to all of you athletes. I see we have just about everybody here that competed in the marathon, a lot of PBs, some excellent times. We're fortunate to have Dr. Cole here, and what I'd like to do on behalf of the ministry and the government is present him with our own book of our history of our Bermuda Day Marathon, which I understand you were on the sidelines for last year and got a chance to watch. And we have actually the commemorative hat from our race as well.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, there you
Between
go.
the Boston Athletic Association and the Bermuda athletes
Well,
to come to Boston and run the marathon every year from now on.
all right, well, that'll be great. There you go. Thank you very much.
Mr. Premier.
Yes, thank you. On behalf of the people of Bermuda, Dr. Coyle, your lovely wife and daughter that accompanied you here, it is a pleasure that we have you here. I know that you've been to Bermuda many times before, but this is a special occasion, and I want to thank you for making this possible here in Bermuda. I want to also thank the governor for facilitating this opportunity, and I recognize U.S. Consul Bob Secchi, he's here. This is truly an occasion that means that out of tragedy we can still come together and find opportunities of good. To all of the runners that are here and those that are not here as well, maybe just listening, I want to say congratulations to you. You've accomplished something that I don't know if many others have. You don't have to qualify for the next time. This is a good thing. I didn't realize that you actually had to qualify for this Boston Marathon, and I understand that this is one of the only marathons that you must have a qualification for. So this is commendable on those from Bermuda and the Bermuda team that went away to represent us in the marathon. But again, this is a great opportunity, and again, I want to say thank you, Dr. Coyle, for making this occasion possible. This is truly a blessing to Bermuda to have you here representing all the teams from the Boston Marathon. Again, we say thank you to your lovely wife and daughter for being here. Thank you once again, and thank you for the lovely book as well. Cheers. Thank you.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Ministry of Tourism, Development and Transport, we would like to congratulate all of the recipients today, as well as all those who participated in this grueling marathon. Congratulations to you. And we would like to thank Dr. Coyle for facilitating this wonderful moment today here in Bermuda. We would like to thank you especially for being a repeat visitor to Bermuda. We're very grateful for that. And on behalf of the ministry and the government, we would like to present Dr. Coyle with this beautiful cedar plaque to show our gratitude for today. Thank you very much.
I think that, have we now got Susie there? We have.
Susie, can you hear us? Just about.
If you say a few words, we will then have a cup of tea.
I didn't want to get in the way. Can you hear me? Yes.
Loud and clear.
I'm sorry that we missed a bit in the middle there after that you spoke, so I don't want to repeat things, but I want to thank Governor Ferguson, my predecessor's predecessor, for coming up with this very creative idea of linking us in to this lovely little ceremony. The marathon explosions really did hit this community hard, and I'm a newcomer here to Boston, but I've been embraced by the community and I felt it very strongly. And the ripple effect of those explosions have obviously gone far further afield than Boston. We had 374 British runners in the marathon. Thankfully, none of them were hospitalised, but the impact has been felt far and wide, and we stand with our Boston colleagues. And as we mentioned, our Prime Minister came to Boston. That was just after the London Marathon, where a minute's silence had been observed in memory of what had happened and in recognition of the fact that our countries stand shoulder to shoulder in dealing with this horrific act of terrorism, and sadly we've had similar instances in our country too. So it's great to have occasions like this where we can celebrate resilience as we get back to normality, and the Boston Strong ethos, I think, runs far and wide. So thank you for including us in it, and congratulations to your exceptionally well-toned runners there in Bermuda.
I have to say, you guys have a unique advantage. You get to run in the nice weather 12 months of the year, so you guys got a better advantage.
Well, thank you very much, Boston, and thank you to everyone who managed to make the connection more or less work, which I know wasn't just as easy as a flick of a switch. But thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Coyle, Ministers, Premier, that's the end of the formal bit of this, and I think we now have a chance to have a cup of tea. which there is another British Boston connection to be made there. Thank you very much.